And good evening and welcome to the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network. My name is Grant Farhall with Ryan Ballantyne, coming to you live from the Scotiabank Saddledome in Calgary, where it is the Washington Stealth in town to face the Calgary Roughnecks. Ryan, needless to say, this one's a big one.
Yeah, with both teams just separated by one game in the standings, the Calgary Roughnecks have that one-game advantage. This is the rubber match for the season series. Both teams having won a game apiece, and tiebreakers when it's this close at the top of the Western standings can really come into play. Both teams needing this one to help secure themselves a potential home playoff date when the playoffs get started. And the Washington Stealth, of course, that one game behind, looking to clinch a playoff spot with a win tonight or a Colorado loss. Either way, the Washington Stealth will get in. At this point, it's about home games, and that's what the Roughnecks are playing for tonight. A win tonight guarantees them a home playoff game come the postseason.
Yeah, they're also in a tight race with the Edmonton Rush when it comes to first in the West overall. And starting goalies tonight, Mike Poulin for the Calgary Roughnecks, Tyler Richards for the Washington Stealth. And last week, Ryan, it was a major penalty to Tyler Richards that really let the Roughnecks get back into it, eventually steal that game down in Everett. Richards, of course, had to serve that one, and Calgary really took advantage of a cold Matt Roy coming into the net. That really was the difference in the game, Calgary taking advantage of that penalty. Washington has to feel like that they want to steal this one back tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. They played well for what Coach Chris Hall described as 53 minutes of great lacrosse. And then the last 7 minutes, they were outscored significantly by the Roughnecks, allowing 3 power play goals for the Roughnecks to come back and take the lead. And it was eventually a transition goal by Greg Harnett that stood up as the winner in that one, as they came away, as the Stealth felt like they let one slip away. They're hoping that they can prevent that from happening here tonight.
Here we go, starting face-off. It is the Snyder boys on it, and it is the Calgary Snyder coming all the way, scores! 7 seconds in, Jeff Snyder opens the scoring, 1-0 Calgary.
Not often that Jeff Snyder does not come away the victor on the night for face-offs, but last week it was Brother Bob winning the majority of the face-offs against Jeff, a 52-48% edge in favor of Bob Snyder. You knew Jeff was going to come out fired up, and he gets his 15th of the year on a breakaway. He's got another opportunity here.
This time he passes off. There's a shot. This time Richards makes the save as Calgary has come out extremely strong in the opening 20 seconds of this one. Now back the other way. Here come the Washington Stealth with their first opportunity. Passing off was Garrison. He gives it to Reese Dutch. Dutch gives it back to Garrison. Here comes the shot. Ouch! That hits Captain Andrew McBride right in the leg, I believe. That one stings. He shakes it off, though. The Stealth still have the ball, though. 5 seconds on the shot clock. It's Dutch again. Nice pass across. There's a shot, I think, off of Poulin. Shot clock resets, but Manning comes down with it for the Roughnecks. And Calgary now looking to move it down the floor.
Stealth got lucky there with an extra possession as that ball bounced off the Calgary's open bench door and back into the zone to prevent the over and back.
This is Dane Doby now. Doby now with some space. Passes off to McRae. McRae tries the shot. That hits Matt Beers. He's okay, though, and the Stealth now will come back looking to even this game up. 1-0 Calgary leading. Washington with the ball. That's Buchanan passing off. Now here's Dutch again. Dutch tries to go all the way across. Finds the pass there. That shot wide of the net and goes back all the way to Tyler Richards, who's going to scoop it up. He's got Cornwall coming up against him, so he's going to drop the ball instead, and Cornwall's going to pick it up quickly, look to create some offense here as Calgary gets the offensive set on the floor, led by Jeff Shattler, who has the ball now. Shattler to Ranger as they work it around. Then the ball thrown away as Dane Doby and Joe Resiteritz got tangled up with each other. Now Washington looking to create a quick turnover here, and we're going to get a whistle on the play. I think Calgary's going to get called here for delay of game as Joe Resiteritz did not drop that ball cleanly.
Yeah, as it was coming out of the stick, the Washington player gave him a bit of a hack, and Resiteritz moves the ball. As a result, he'll sit for 2 minutes, and the Stealth will head to their first power play of the night.
That power play 2 for 6 last week in that game versus the Roughnecks, 46% overall. Calgary's PK entering this game 58%, so it has been very good of late. They work around, scores! That does not take long as the Stealth cash in with the man advantage, courtesy of Lewis Ratcliffe, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, the former Roughneck knows how to score goals here in the Dome and did so exactly the way his team needed him to. A nice bounce shot past Mike Poulin to tie it up at 1 apiece.
That power play cashing in about 5 seconds into it. And again, here's Snyder winning the draw and again charging down the floor. Pass off, 2-on-1 down low. Shot off the bar as Curtis Dixon comes oh so close. Calgary does retain possession though. Dixon's going to take it in the corner. Snyder is victimizing his brother so far on the face-off.
Yeah, really seems to be upset about last week's results.
Dobie flip pass to Cornwall. Cornwall goes across the other side. Now this is Evans. Evans looking to give it to Ranger. Shot in there. Richards squeezes the legs and keeps that one out barely. Nice save by Tyler Richards. And now Washington looking for their first lead of the game. This is Buchanan. Buchanan gets some help from Dutch. Buchanan tries the shot. Poulin has it. Ball squirts loose, but only Roughneck players there. And they now look to move it down the floor. This is Greg Harnett. As you mentioned, Ryan, the game-winning goal last week for Greg Harnett. He doesn't score a ton of them, but that's a big one. Now Shatler will go behind the net. Defenseman falls down. Shatler comes out, tried to stuff it in. Fell, though. Now Dan McRae, who's staying out there on the offense, tried to go across to the other side to Joe Resetarits. That was a tough pass. Now breakaway opportunity for Buchanan. He was all alone. Ball did not get to him, though. And now John Harnett has it for Calgary. Harnett to Scott Carnegie, who flips it to Jeff Shatler. He's going to step over center with under 12 to go here in the first quarter in a 1-1 game between the Stealth and the Roughnecks. Now this is Evans again. Evans, nice pass to Ranger, scores! Scott Ranger squeaks it in, 2-1 Calgary.
Yeah, it looked like Richards had it initially, but it just ended up rolling through the legs there and getting in. We'll see exactly from the overhead cam here momentarily, I'm sure, how that one ended up in the net. But Scott Ranger getting off to an early start. Not his best statistical year this year, but does seem to score the goals when they're mattering most.
Here's the replay on it, and I think Ranger knew before anyone else that it was in, as it just got through Richards. Washington wins the draw, though, now trailing by 1 again. Ball is dropped briefly by Lewis Ratcliffe in the corner. He picks it up, now looking to spin towards the net. Guarded nicely by Pete McFedridge, so they'll try the other side to Dutch. Dutch goes back across to Ratcliffe. That doesn't work, and Poulin reaches out to get in the way of that. Now Manning in transition. Pulls up, looking for some more help, and gets it from Joe Resetarits. Resetarits now passes off to Dane Dobie, who holds it. Dobie now, spin move. Another spin move. One-hand pass, shot in there. Cornwall stopped by Richards. Nice setup there by Dane Dobie, but equally a good a save. Now Dixon gets the turnover. He circles back, and now Calgary's got the 5-man unit out there. Here's Resetarits bouncing one wide, and that one will come to center. Nice save attempt by Dixon, just walking the line. Does give Calgary another chance here. Now Cornwall tries a shot, save Richards. As he's been the busier of the two goalies, shots on goal now, 7-3 in favor of the Riggers, 3-on-2 back the other way, but a nice breakup of that pass. Greg Harnett getting a stick on that. And then Carnegie picks it up and feeds to Dan McRae. Dan McRae now in transition, has Jeff Shatler off the bench. Shatler now with the ball. Shatler now with a little bit of a step, curls back, finds the man off the bench. That's Cornwall. Cornwall feeds it to Evans. Now Evans in the corner has Resetarits. Resetarits with space, passes off. Maybe should have taken a shot there. Eventually came to Cornwall in front. He put it high over the net. Actually, Richards must have got a piece of that because shot clock reset. Calgary with the fresh 30 and the ball.
Yeah, nice attempt there from Resetarits. You'll see a lot more of the rookie and Travis Cornwall tonight with Daryl Veltman a scratch.
Now driving the net is Ranger. He gets popped, and the ball also pops out. And here come the Stealth now in transition with 9.5 to go in the opening quarter. As once again, this is Tyler Garrison with it. Garrison looking to give up the ball, doesn't really have any good options and drops it. Calgary with the good defense there, as Garrison had struggled to find any options. Now Manning running the floor. Manning feeds his man. That was Snyder taking a shot. Richards the save. And with 9:11 to go in the first quarter and a 2-1 Calgary lead, timeout on the floor. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Reebok. Redefine your game with Reebok's new Black line. Reebok Black was designed and engineered for the elite lacrosse player. Reebok's Black line features a lightweight and minimalistic design with carbon-like technology, performance-driven, technology-driven, NLL proven. Find all the new Reebok lacrosse gear online at ReebokBlack.com. Calgary leading 2-1 over the Washington Stealth. Ryan, we were just chatting off air, but Calgary so far in this game pushing the transition game a little more than we've come to see from this team, and that's counter to some of the comments made by Coach Kurt Malosky of late.
Yeah, the last time we were here watching the game against Colorado Mammoth, Kurt Malosky hammering on Jeff Snyder on the bench, shouting at him for taking a transition opportunity like we saw in that opening goal, and really suggesting that the team was better off putting the ball in its hands of its offensive stars like Evans and Dixon and Dobie and Schattler rather than having, their transition players go. So as much as Jeff Snyder has been effective this year with 15 goals, you do see Pete McFetridge with not much work, Curtis Manning also not getting the offensive opportunities that we've seen in the past, really preferring the players to peel off and giving the ball to their offensive talents. But maybe throwing that out there as a possibility. Everybody in the league says, oh, well, they're going to pull up and they're not going to try the offensive, the transition game as much as they used to. And so that's what you run because that's what they're not expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. Calgary now with the ball. 25 seconds on the shot clock as we get play back underway. Dixon playing the top, plays it down low to Scott Ranger now working off the far boards. Ranger still with it, now feeds it across to Jeff Schattler. Schattler, nice moves there. Had Dixon breaking to the net. Ball popped out of his basket, though. Now comes to Schattler, who actually threw Schattler. And now just 5 seconds on the shot clock on this broken play. Here comes Schattler to the net. Ball was deflected. Richard stops it. And then ball turned over. Here's Evans. Evans, one-hand pass. They move it around. Dixon puts it wide. As Calgary had all sorts of time, maybe too much time, and maybe one too many passes there. Never did get the shot on net.
Yeah, just a frantic scramble in front of the net with a whole bunch of offensive talent, like I mentioned there earlier, getting a chance to put the ball towards the net, but nobody putting it on Tyler Richards.
Bucktooth tried to find Dutch in the slot area. That doesn't work as Calgary was all over that. Should mention that Nathan Iannucci not in the lineup for the Stealth or not in the lineup at all tonight for the Stealth. We don't have a reason as of yet as to why, if it's a healthy scratch or an injury situation. Saw him in warm-ups and actually stayed on the floor quite a while after the rest of the team had gone to the dressing room. So bottom line, no Nathan Iannucci for the Washington Stealth tonight. Here are the Stealth with the ball. Turned over by Cornwall. Nice play by him. And then he feeds Dan McRae. McRae with it. McRae to Dane Dobie. Dobie bounce pass. Nice take there by Dixon. Wines, fakes the shot. Dixon. Another fake. Passes to Dobie. Dobie shoots. Richards the save. Square to the ball. And now Washington outshot 11-3 so far in this opening quarter, but they're only down 2-1 thanks to the man between the pipes, Tyler Richards, who's been very good in this game so far. 7:13 to go here in the opening quarter. Here's Bucktooth for the Stealth. Bucktooth has a man off the bench and feeds it to Ratcliffe. And now Dutch. Dutch tries the shot. That doesn't get to the net. Hit a body before. Now a battle in the corner. Nice play there again by the Roughnecks on defense to Dan McRae now in transition. McRae has Nolan Hefner breaking with him. Instead, he's going to go to Scotty Ranger off the bench. Ranger pulls up. Now looking to give up the ball. Does give it to Evans. Evans all the way across to Schattler. And now Schattler gets the return feed. Tries the shot. Richards again out there to challenge and makes the save. And with 6:34 to go in the opening quarter, score remains 2-1. And here's Jeff Molesky, former member of the Calgary Roughnecks and one of the best defenders in the league, without question, to Buchanan. Buchanan to Ratcliffe. Now here's a chance for the Stealth in front off the bar. As driving the net, I believe it was Mitch Jones that put that one off the pipe. Now Calgary back the other way. Dane Dobie with it. Dobie guarded on the play. Now to the net. Dobie driving, crashing the crease, and getting some extra punishment now.
Tyler Richards very quick to get away from Dane Dobie there, as he had that minor penalty, or he took that major penalty in a very similar situation last week that saw Dane Dobie
now
going
over at the bench.
crease.
It's Dixon getting into it with the stealth.
And now
you're going to get a penalty to both, I think.
Yeah, it looks like both guys are going to go to the box.
That's Sorensen, the captain of the stealth, and Dixon were jawing each other. I believe it was Sorensen who was doling out some punishment to Dane Dobie in the crease, and Curtis Dixon came over with some words about that. Bottom line, they'll both sit down for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of referees trying to take control here. Yeah, and you see it was Sorensen taking a club on Dane Dobie and adding an extra little stick in the basement there.
Shot on goal there by Mitch McMichael, save made by Poulin, and then the pass gets away from Dan McRae. He's going to have to chase it to the corner and battle for it. And a huge hit there. And now McRae scores! Dan McRae with a massive hit, and then he scores the goal, 3-1 Calgary.
Dan McRae put Matt Beers into the boards hard.
Yeah.
Beers was down on the ground, and McRae picks up the
Stealth
loose
are
ball
not happy
and throws it in the net. And yes, as you mentioned, Matt Beers went over to the ref to ask why it wasn't a penalty, but Dan McRae will take it, picking up the goal to extend the Roughnecks lead to 2.
Here's the replay. Actually, we don't see the hit there, but the only reason why Dan McRae is all alone in front is because Matt Beers was crumpled in the corner after a really big hit from Dan McRae. As I said, the Stealth not happy about that, but they now trail 3-1. They do have the ball here, as they will look for the immediate response here. They've been outplayed in the first quarter so far. Now they work it around to Dutch, trying to get him going. That shot's wide. Comes back to the Stealth. There's a shot off the beat of Mike Poulin as he takes one off the melon. Comes all the way back to his counterpart, Tyler Richards, who now plays it to Bucktooth. Washington gets the fresh 30. Bucktooth with it again. Goes across the other side. There's a shot. That hits a body. Calgary doing a nice job of getting in the way of balls here. Now here's Snyder. Snyder muscles through. One-on-one in! And a huge save by Richards as Snyder just elbowed aside the defender to go away on the breakaway chance. Evans now behind the net. Coming out. Evans still with it. Try to find Carnegie. Threw it away, though. And that'll be an over and back as Manning touches it. Woo! This one's got some teeth to it so far, I would say.
Anytime you see two teams play back-to-back, they're going to go at one another, and that's certainly been the case here. The Roughnecks certainly have lived up to that moniker here tonight.
14-6, shots on goal favoring the Roughnecks, 3-1 on the scoreboard. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network. Fans watch the NLL live on CBS Sports Network with live national broadcasts each week for the remainder of the regular season and playoffs, including the championship game. The next broadcast is Saturday, April 13th, as the Philadelphia Wings host the Toronto Rock, 4:30 Eastern. To find the channel on your cable or satellite system, visit cbssportsnetwork.com. That's cbssportsnetwork.com. 3-1 here in Calgary tonight. The Roughnecks leading the Stealth in what has been an intense game so far, Ryan, particularly for the Roughnecks. They have come out with a lot of heat in this one.
Yeah, a lot of physicality, and I think that might have been what was missing last week in the early going, and has kind of been what's missing from this team throughout their struggles early this season. Last year, they finished 12-4. Of course, they won't be able to match that record this year with 5 losses already on the season, but it seemed like they took away some of that jam, especially in the defensive zone, and it certainly seems to have come back here in the back half of this season.
Washington with the ball. It is Bucktooth with it. Nice move. Bucktooth to Dutch. Dutch loads, fires, deflected, and Poulin makes the save, and Dutch is down.
Yeah, penalties coming here to Manning. As Dutch went to take that shot, Manning hit him, not happy with the call. I'm sure we'll get the replay here shortly. And plus, just want to welcome everybody watching us on YouTube tonight at the Lacrosse Network. And I'm hanging around in the chat room. If you got something to say about the game, feel free to throw it up there, and we'll chat about it here. But 2 minutes for Curtis Manning after hitting Reese Dutch in the middle of taking that shot.
Stealth 1 for 1 on the power play, and it took them about 6 seconds to cash in the first time. We'll see what happens this time as they work it around. Here's Bucktooth, tries the shot. That's blocked right by Jeff Schneider, who is playing a whale of a game so far. Now he runs the floor behind the back pass, had Ranger breaking. That would have been pretty. Instead, it's just a turnover, and Washington's going to get a chance to come down the floor. 1:30 to go on the power play still. Plenty of time. Dutch has it. Reese Dutch to Bucktooth, who's playing the top. Now Bucktooth behind the pack, back to Dutch, who drops it. Over it goes back to Bucktooth eventually. They work it around. Shot, Poulin the save as he stops Hill. Now Hill to Bucktooth. Bucktooth gets it again. Bucktooth fakes the pass, plays it across the other side. Now they give it to Dutch. He shoots. Poulin again with the save. Dutch rebound, and Poulin another big save. Ball still loose, and eventually Calgary picks it up as Mike Poulin with his best stops of the game so far.
Yeah, Mike Poulin doing yeoman work in the crease there, trying to kill this penalty. The last couple weeks, it's been not a lot of success for the Roughnecks penalty killers, especially against Colorado Mammoth 2 weeks ago, doing a much better job here tonight, thanks to Mike Poulin.
Here's Evans with 38 seconds to go on the shorthanded situation for the Roughnecks. That ball deflected into the crowd off of a Washington player. It'll give Calgary the fresh 30 and allow them to kill the bulk of what remains in the 2-minute minor to Curtis Manning. Right now it's Shatler on the boards, just killing clock. Now in the corner, being guarded on the play by Bill Hostrosser. Shatler still there, happy to just kill as much time as possible. Now he's going to try and go to the net. Ball pops loose. And now here come the Stealth as Richards will move it. Washington with just 3 seconds left on the power play, so they'll treat this pretty much as a 5-on-5 as Manning is now out of the box. The Stealth will go 1 for 2 on the power play so far. Ball way up in the air off the boards, grabbed by Poulin. Now he looks to move it down the floor to Harnett. John Harnett in transition with a bit of space. Pulls up and going to give it to Scott Ranger. Tough pass there, as it almost hopped over center. Ranger recovers to give it to Cornwall. Cornwall now to the net, dives across and puts it wide of the net. And we're going to get a penalty to the Washington Stealth now.
Yeah, Cornwall with a nice move, and he takes a cross check in the back to draw the penalty here as he went diving through the crease.
This should be Calgary's first power play of this game. That power play 4 for 5 last week, just over 50% overall. The PK for the Stealth, very good this year, 57% overall for the season. Entering to tonight's contest, Evans will start it off. He's got Ranger and Dixon to his left. And now he's going to go to the right side where Dane Dobie and Jeff Shatler are setting up shot. Plays catch with Shatler. Now Evans winds to Dobie again. All the way across to Dixon. Dixon to Ranger, who was all alone in front. That pass out of his reach as they are looking for the quick stick. Now Evans just tries a shot wide off the end boards. And now the Stealth come back the other way.
Based on the way Evans played that, it almost looked like it was intentionally wide, Grant, because he shot the ball and juked around the defender to try and pick it up again.
Yeah, it may very well. It may very well have been the case. Now under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Calgary with the ball, looking to build on what is a 3-1 lead so far. Still on the power play, a minute 13 remaining on the 5-on-4. Evans with it again, has Dobie this time working the top, and Shatler to his right. Shatler goes to Dixon, now down low to Evans. That deflects to Dixon. Dixon, pass attempt to Cornwall. He couldn't get his stick on it. Now Shatler to Dobie, scores! No, it's not in. What?
Off, over Richard's shoulder, off the post, off the crossbar, and out.
Wow.
May get a look at that.
Completely fooled by me, or they completely fooled me either way.
Yes.
Now Washington's going to get the ball here. Might be able to do a quick opportunity. Here's the pass across. They score! What a turn of events as Jeff Molesky scores, and it's 3-2 thanks to the shorty.
Well, Kurt Molesky livid on the bench the way that play got restarted, because Grimes just picks it up, and of course under the quick restart rule, that is a the ball
That's
was
fine.
clear.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
No, and the Roughnecks not back on the floor. It was an over and back call that got it off the floor, and Grimes ends up with a nice assist on the goal there as the Stealth bring it within one on a shorthanded marker.
Yeah, nice hustle by Jeff Molesky to get down the floor quickly and see that opportunity develop. And Jeff Molesky scoring in his second straight game. And it's 3-2 in a first quarter that really has been dominated by the Roughnecks. And yet they only have the 1-goal lead thanks to that heads-up play. Now with under 10 seconds to go, Washington looking for one more opportunity here. It's muscled away though. Dan McRae tries to pick it up. And that'll do it for the first quarter. Actually, they're going to quick play down low to Snyder. That probably would not have counted.
And I thought I heard a whistle there, but apparently not. So the end of the first quarter comes. Most of the players on the floor, I think, thought there was a whistle too. Everybody but Jeff Snyder.
Yeah. Some strange stuff in this one so far. It was a couple of plays that I'd still like to see that chance from Dane Dobie that I thought was a goal, but regardless, we enter the first quarter with a 3-2 score, Calgary leading. We'll be back with second quarter action. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network. Fans, the next Washington and Stealth home game is 1 week from tonight. That game on Saturday, April 13th, as the Stealth host the Buffalo Bandits at Comcast Arena. Game time is 7 p.m. For tickets, visit stealthlax.com. That's stealthlax.com. Welcome back to Calgary, where it's 3-2. The Roughnecks leading over the Washington Stealth. Ryan, Calgary has to be feeling like they probably should be in the lead a little bit more than that.
Well, yeah, they really had come out. They outshot the Stealth 15-11 in that quarter and really carried the vast majority of the play. If not for the power play, the two power play opportunities that the Stealth had where they fired, I think, 4 shots on Mike Poulin in one quick sequence.
Yeah.
They really hadn't carried possession through the majority of the first quarter. The defense creating a lot of turnovers there for the Roughnecks, but unfortunately not able to beat Tyler Richards, who really has continued his solid play from a week ago where he was stymieing the Roughnecks through that first 53 minutes before taking that major penalty. He had really done a number on the Roughnecks offensively.
Yeah, Tyler Richards now second place all time with saves for the Stealth. So that tells you what he's done in his career so far. Also should say congratulations to Chris Hall in this game. He becomes just the 4th NLL coach to coach 150 career games in this league, joining some pretty elite companies. So Chris Hall, a guy that I have oodles of respect for, reaching a bit of a milestone tonight.
Yeah, and congratulations to Coach Hall, especially after all of the health problems he went through over the last 2 seasons, and coming back stronger than ever and back behind the bench again tonight. Just want to take a quick look at your out-of-town scoreboard right now in the third quarter. Minnesota leading Buffalo by a 12-5 score.
Woo!
That one getting out of hand in front of those fans. 14-7 the final between Rochester and Philadelphia. And up in Edmonton, it's the Colorado Mammoth with a 2-1 lead as they approach the end of the first quarter. And of course here in Calgary, 3-2 in favor of the Calgary Roughnecks.
Now when the second quarter does start, 25 seconds remaining on that minor penalty to Tim Henderson for the Stealth, so Calgary still an opportunity to cash in on the power play. And that special teams really has given them the last 2 wins, Ryan. It has been the power play that's gotten Calgary back into a couple of games.
Yeah, especially last week. We mentioned you can't really stop talking about the penalty that Tyler Richards took, especially when the league rescinded that 5-minute major earlier this week. and ended up and taking it away, and that makes a difference because, of course, major penalties can lead to suspensions in the National Lacrosse League if you collect too many of them, so the league rescinding that major penalty, but that doesn't mean you go back and play the fourth quarter over again, though. No. And as a result, the Roughnecks got a win on a lot of power play work in the fourth quarter against the Stealth last week.
Face off to start the second quarter, won by Jeff Snyder, comes all the way back to Mike Poulin, and Calgary will get opening possession here now. Just 10 seconds remaining on the power play. They'll work it around Evans to Dane Doby, gets it back to Evans. Scott Ranger now to the left of Evans, but Doby gets it. Evans behind the back to Ranger. Now back to even strike. Bounce, shot, wide of the net. Ranger tries to get his own rebound, but fails to do so. And now here come the Washington Stealth looking to tie the game once again. This is Grimes all the way, scores! Mike Grimes goes coast to coast, and it's 3-3.
A nice play there from Grimes, maybe shooting it before Mike Poulin might have been expecting it, kind of catching him unawares on that one, puts it top corner and brings it back to even. Both these teams are very close all season, and no surprise, they're close here tonight.
That means we're starting all over again. Mike Grimes with 2 consecutive plays to lead to goals. Now off the face-off, we're going to get a penalty to the Calgary Roughnecks, a tripping call, I believe, and then Richards is dumped as he was going to the bench for the 6-on-5. I think ran into Evans, or Evans ran into him. But either way, it was Richards that ended up on the floor. Delayed penalty. Washington working at 6-on-5, trying to cash in. This is Ratcliffe. Ball pops away. Recovered nicely, though, by the Stealth. Now a shot by Jones in on net. And as Poulin makes the save, we're now going to get the penalty. And no surprise, it is a tripping call. And it is Curtis Manning sitting down for his second minor in the first half of this game. Those are not the kind of penalties that Kurt Molosky appreciates.
No, and just taking a look here quickly in the chat room here, Grant, the fans like you thought Dane Doby might have scored there, thought Kurt Molosky should have thrown the challenge flag. Coach Molosky a lot more reluctant than Coach Pym used to be at firing that nylon to center.
Now there's a chance down low, ball pops loose. We never did see a replay on that Dane Doby chance, and to me it almost looked like, I mean, if it wasn't in the net, where did it go? Did it go through the net or what happened? I'm not sure. I sure thought it was in and would love to see another look at it, but regardless, doesn't matter. 3-3 is the score no matter how you slice it, and Washington now working the power play.
Well, they're actually getting a penalty here for a push. It's going to be Buchanan taking a seat after some rough play up against the boards. We'll see the replay here.
It is right there, yeah.
Yeah, check against the boards. Didn't look like it had a lot on it, but nevertheless, that'll negate the penalty to Manning and get a little 4-on-4 lacrosse.
Tons of space out there now for the likes of Dane Doby, who now shakes off a check. Doby with it, tried to flip it. Nowhere near anybody, though. Evans chases it down, though, to maintain offense possession. Now Evans tried to find Dixon. Again, nice defense there by the Stealth. And again, it was Mike Grimes getting in the way of that one. Now big collision as Jeff Shatler lays out Justin Salt. Ball still up for grabs. Calgary's going to get it, and they're going to work it down the floor for a 2-on-1. Breakaway shot off the bar as Evans just turned and fired and put it off the pipe. And now here come the Stealth in transition.
Evans probably had another good 2 seconds before he had to shoot that one. Unfortunately, goes off the post for Evans.
There's a bounce shot wide, and it'll go all the way up into the crowd. And with 12.5 minutes to go, we'll continue to play 4-on-4 here. And it will be Calgary ball. 3-3 the score here. Bounce pass to Scotty Ranger. Ranger now looking to drive the net. Has Resiteras. He shoots. Richards. A little unorthodox there, but it does the job. He plays ahead looking for Kyle Sorensen. He can't come up with the ball. And again, it'll be Calgary ball on the change of possession.
Kevin Buchanan picking up the loose ball in the penalty box.
Now Scott Ranger looks at the clock, sees 10 seconds before Calgary will go to the power play. He hangs on to the corner, needs some help as he's getting worked over now. Keeps the ball though. Now Ranger to Evans. Now Manning out of the box. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Calgary will work at 5-on-4. Pass across, Resiteras and Richards comes across and gets a stick on it. What a save as he takes one away from Resetarits.
Yeah, he might have caught a piece of the post there too. Tough luck, tough break for the rookie there.
There's been a few of those tonight for the Calgary Roughnecks, a couple of posts, and they have to feel like they've had some hard luck so far in this one. Jeff Shadler in a battle for it in the corner, comes up with it, gives Calgary a fresh 30 now, back to 5-on-5. There's a quick play across, and again Richards makes the save.
Joe Resetarits is trying that quick stick on that side and just hasn't been able to get it past Richards yet.
Richards has been good all year long, but you have a feeling that he's a little extra motivated this week, Ryan, after that penalty a week ago. Now here's Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe, nice pass. As Washington looks to take the lead, shot in there, Pula makes the save. Ball is recovered by McMichael in the corner. McMichael's going to go behind the net, stops there actually, gets it to Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe has Hill. Hill with the ball. Now plays it across. There's a shot from Buchanan. He'll get his own rebound in the corner and a fresh 30 for his team. Now to Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe thought about a shot, passed off instead. Now there's a drive wide of the net. It's going to bounce all the way out near center. Race for it there. Breakaway opportunity in there, and another save by Richards. And then into the crease, a pile up there. Pete McFetters and Richards detangle from each other. It was Pete McFetters in there. Now here come the Stealth as these two teams open it up a little bit. And now a delayed penalty coming to Calgary. Richards goes to the bench. Jones with it. They'll go 6-on-5. Behind the net. The Stealth get it to Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe back. There's the shot. Pulling the save. Rebound up for grabs. Bucktooth in there. Dutch in there. They get some help also from Buchanan. And it is Calgary that walks away with it. And as they do, we get the penalty call. Washington to the power play when we come back. 3-3 between the Roughnecks and the Stealth. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network. Fans, the next Calgary Roughnecks home game is 1 week from tonight, Saturday, April 13th, as the Roughnecks take on the Rochester Nighthawks here at the Dome. It's the final regular season home game for the Roughnecks of 2013. Game time is 7 p.m. For your tickets, visit CalgaryRoughnecks.com. And of course, the Roughnecks can clinch a first-round home playoff game with a win tonight. So stay tuned for announcements about potential playoff home game dates, times, and of course, ticket on sale dates. Yeah, playoff lacrosse here in Calgary, always good, Ryan.
Yeah, despite the Roughnecks maybe not having the home playoff record to be envious of, it's still good to pack the Dome and get everybody out to see lacrosse. I know in the two championship game runs, this building was packed for the playoffs, and people certainly come out to support it. And really, you make sure you're here for every game, not just playoff games.
Absolutely.
That game next week against Rochester features some of the best talent the National Lacrosse League has to offer. And despite them getting a win tonight, they're still going to be in tight for playoff contention next week. So they're going to come in looking to play the Roughnecks pretty hard.
Washington on the power play now as Nolan Hebner takes the 2-minute penalty. Washington, I believe, 2 for 3 on the evening so far. They work it across, had a man for the quick stick at the side of the net. Does not connect, though, as Hill could not come up with it. And Calgary turns it over now, and they'll work it down the floor, trying to kill off some of this time. Arnett with it, has a man. It's a shot in there instead. Richards makes the save, and now he's going to play it quickly down the floor. Calgary choosing not to kill a lot of time on that particular offensive possession. That's going to give Washington still another 90 seconds to work on the power play here in what is a 3-3 game. Ratcliffe out there gets the ball back. Ratcliffe going to play it to the top, and now gets it back again. Ratcliffe with a bit of space, pass across, and then the shot off of Jeff Snyder. Washington comes up with it again, scores! Race Dutch with a quick shot, bounces it in. and Washington grabs their first lead of the game, 4-3.
Yeah, ball hit just at the top of the crease, fired into the top corner behind Mike Poulin over his shoulder, and it was a nice play to pick up the ball after it went off Snyder's head. Buchanan tracking down the loose ball, finding Reese Dutch, who makes no mistake putting it in the net. And like you said, Grant, now it's a 4-3 lead in favor of the Stealth, their first of the night.
And again, special teams looming large so far in this one, as Washington's been very good on the power play, and that's given them a 4-3 lead now. 8.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Calgary wins the possession off the face-off as they now chase, being down 1 goal in this one. Dane Dobie with the ball. Dobie's going to drive the net. Scores! No goal. Dobie in the crease. Wants the challenge flag. Kurt Malosky looking at the Jumbotron. It's out of his pocket. No replay yet. We're going to get a look at it right here. And he's going to keep it in his pocket, as it does look like Dane Dobie planted the foot in the crease before he took off. The score will remain 4-3. Ratcliffe with it. Ratcliffe pass across. Wild pass to Buchanan. Doesn't work. Buchanan, though, still with the ball. Now on the boards. Nice play there, as stealing it for the Roughnecks was Mike Carnegie. 2-on-1 developing. Carnegie with the ball. Carnegie peels off just as he got to the net. Passes off. Shoots. Scores! Jeff Shatler, and it's 4-4.
Nice alert play there from Scott Carnegie to find Jeff Shatler in front of the net. Shatler with space, one of the more talented players in the National Lacrosse League, makes no mistake and puts it behind Richards. A nice, didn't get the Stealth the chance to get their full offensive set on the, or defensive set on the floor, Grant, and probably not a bad choice to take the shot, as Jeff Shatler picks up goal number 27 on the season to restore it to a 4-4 tie.
Well, you could see that the Stealth defense was occupied with Carnegie there and didn't see Shatler breaking from the bench. And when they did notice him, it was too late. Now Calgary off the draw. Here comes Dixon. Dixon spin move, shoots it, and again off the bar. The 4th time the Roughnecks have hit the post here in the first half, as Curtis Dixon comes that close to restoring a Calgary lead. Now Washington with the ball back as the momentum shifts slightly to Calgary. This is Jones. Jones behind the net, has to run through Bucktooth. Thought about going back there again. Now passes off to Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe has that big shot. Hangs on to it, then tries it. What a release. Rebound. One-handed attempt. Saved by Poulin. Washington turns it over, though. And now off the bench, nice alert play there by Pete McFedridge. He runs the floor, pulls up, waiting for some reinforcements. 6.5 minutes to go here in the first half in what is a 4-4 game. That score may be a little lower than you would expect given the offensive weapons these two teams boast, but they've both been good defensively so far tonight. Now here's Scott Ranger. Try to give it to Dixon. Interrupted by the Stealth, and now here they come, led by Jeff Molesky. Molesky has 1 goal tonight. Double team, passes off now. And Kyle Buchanan waits for a change from the defensive set to the offensive set.
Curtis Dixon still out on defense.
This is Dutch. Dutch has Ratcliffe, shoots, and Poulin out to challenge. Doesn't know where it is and finds it eventually, as Lewis Ratcliffe has that big ripper of a shot. Now here's Ranger. Ranger has a man. Dobie shoots and scores! Dane Dobie off the bench, and it's 5-4 Calgary.
Well, they've seen other teams working transition, and now they're getting their offensive players off the bench a little quicker. Dane Dobie running in and taking that ball at full speed, making no question this time of planting the foot outside the crease before jumping across. And Tyler Richards will need a bit of an equipment adjustment here, as the Roughnecks have scored 2 straight to go up 5-4.
Now, what do we call this again? Is it a Canadian timeout?
I've heard it referred to online as the Canadian timeout. Not sure why it's a Canadian timeout, but nevertheless, that's how I've heard it referred to online. But the veteran savvy of Tyler Richards maybe giving his team a bit of a breather.
Number 30 on the year for Dane Dobie as he reaches that plateau again. Now back the other way off the face-off. Bob Snyder thought about a shot. Instead, he gives it to Kyle Buchanan. Now he has some help off the bench from Jones. Jones passes off to Dutch. That Ball immediately into the stick of Jeff Snyder. Snyder now looking for a breakaway. Snyder all the way, shoots! And I believe it goes off of Richards. Snyder looking for the call, isn't going to get it. And here comes the Washington Stealth. Snyder's had a couple of breakaway chances tonight, but Richards has been equal to the task. Now the Stealth with it. There's a wild attempt from Jones, way up in the air. Buchanan comes down with it briefly, passes off, gets to Ratcliffe now. Ratcliffe goes to the other side. There's a shot from Bucktooth. Rebound to Bucktooth in there. All sorts of moves, and Poulin makes a save.
One of the better reactionary goalies in the game, Mike Poulin. A nice stop there twice on Bucktooth. The initial stop and then on the diving shot there, Mike Poulin sticks out his arm, keeps it out of the net.
Bucktooth, a free agent acquisition by the Washington Stealth, and he's been a very good addition for that team. Now Evans to Doby, to Schattler. Schattler now trying to work his man one-on-one, gets some help from Doby now. He's going to flip it to Doby. Doby with some space, shoots high and wide. And it was not going to count anyways. And with 4:16 to go, timeout on the floor with Calgary leading 5-4. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network. NLL Radio offers the best online radio coverage of the National Lacrosse League. You can listen to NLL Radio on your smartphone. Just download the popular TuneIn Radio app and find NLL Radio under the More Sports section. You can listen to great shows from around the league, including our very own Roughnecks Radio. You can also visit NLL.com/radio and listen to any show you'd like at any time. Check it out, NLL Radio today. 5-4, Calgary and Washington involved in another tight one. Calgary's had the lead for the majority of this one, but the biggest lead enjoyed by any team, 2 goals. And that's largely due to the goaltending. Both Mike Poulin and Tyler Richards, Ryan, have been very sharp.
Yeah, 25-24 the shots in favor of the Roughnecks right now. Both goalies running at about a 75% clip for save percentage. Richards a little better than that, actually, but both teams, both goalies doing everything they can to keep their team in it here. And these saves become extra important, especially down the stretches. This game really decides the season series, decides who gets that tiebreaker as we head towards the playoff picture. And if the Roughnecks can pull out a win, they'll open up a 2-game lead as well as the season series. So Washington will pretty much not be able to catch them anymore. But if Washington wins, they're right back in it and will vault ahead of the Roughnecks in the standings.
Washington with the ball now, looking to even things back up as we enter the final 4 minutes of the first half. Ratcliffe passes off. Pass comes across to Hill. A shot in there. Poulin the save. Gathers in the rebound. And then looks to move it quickly. Scott Carnegie with the good take. And then Carnegie now will wait for help. Plays it to Jeff Schattler. Schattler to Dane Doby. The Roughnecks really had the edge in shots in the early part of this game, and that's when Tyler Richards really was playing well to keep his team in it. Now Evans passes off to Doby. To Dixon. Shoots it high. Had some spot upstairs there, couldn't reach it though. Now Doby tries his luck. Rebound. Schattler makes a shot on goal. Another save by Richards. Doby's hurt as he comes from his knees now and is going to go to the bench. We'll keep an eye on that. Evans with the ball. Evans facing a 1-on-2, still with it. Holds on. There's a pass. Save made by Richards. Another beautiful stop, this time off of Cornwall, who he's really had the number of so far tonight.
Over and back the call, though, as the ball was outside the crease, rolled back in before Tyler Richards grabbed it, and the Roughnecks will get a fresh 30.
Third opportunity basically here on this offensive possession. Now Evans with it. Evans hangs on, shoots. Richards chest save, and up quickly with the rebound. Almost throws it away, and now actually a battle does ensue for it, but Molesky comes up with it. Gets it to Grimes. Grimes. 1 goal, 1 assist so far in this game. Passes off. And now 2.5 minutes to go here in a 5-4 Calgary game. Bucktooth with it. Bucktooth passes off. Now here's a shot from Jones. Save made by Poulin. That from a ways out. Poulin not going to have much problem with those shots. Scotty Ranger now with the ball. Steps over center. Ranger looking to give it up as Joe Resetaritz comes over and gives him an option, and now to Schattler. Schattler to Dane Doby, back on the floor, scores! Dane Doby, second of the night, and Calgary's up 6-4.
On the last possession, Doby took a shot in the chops and went down hard, and it went out, got a bit of a breather, came back out, and a nice low shot here. Bit of a submarine from the side that fools Richards and puts the Roughnecks up 2 here, 6-4 in the second quarter.
Second time tonight Calgary's had the 2-goal lead, and Dane Doby is starting to warm up in this one. That one almost a Curtis Dixon style goal in some ways.
Yeah, that low submarine shot that's starting to become more of a player favorite here in the NLL.
Now Ratcliffe tries his luck. Delayed penalty coming to Calgary again. And now the whistle does come. It'll be a slashing call to the Roughnecks, and that's not good news for the Roughnecks as Washington.
No, it's a slashing call in Washington.
Oh, you're right.
I saw the players going to the other side of the floor.
Well, even Richards was starting to go to the bench.
Yeah, for a moment there, he must have thought offensive possession. You don't take penalties 200 feet from your net. But apparently Reese Dutch missed the memo on that one and finds himself sitting for 2.
Calgary 0 for 2 on the power play so far tonight. Ranger with it, looking to change that to Evans. Evans to Doby. Calgary's got the A unit out there. Evans at the top. Evans thought about a shot to Doby behind the back. Quick shot there. Richards the save off of Jeff Schattler. Evans going to chase it down near the benches. And does, as Calgary gets the fresh 30. Same unit out there, this time Ranger. Ranger and Dixon working the left side. Evans at the top again. Now to Doby. Shot off the bar again. But the 5th post, I believe, Calgary has had tonight. Now Ranger with it, as Calgary gets another fresh 30 on this power play that has a minute 20 remaining in it. Minute 13 in. There's a shot down low. Richards makes the save, but right back to Doby. Now to Evans. Evans loads, shoots and scores! Sean Evans. Richards did all he can on this PK, but eventually they're going to get to you. And Calgary has a 3-goal lead for the first time tonight.
Yeah, Calgary had the ball the entire power play opportunity there. The Stealth not getting a shot at it, and eventually, like you said, if you give the Roughnecks that many opportunities, they're going to put it home, and Evans did exactly that, firing it past Richards to give him his 28th goal of the year, just entering tonight 3 points behind Garrett Billings for the league lead in scoring, and still had a game in hand, though, so we'll see what happens at the end of tonight with Evans and Billings.
As Bob and Jeff tie up for a long time on that face-off. Sean Evans scoring that goal. And again, that goal, Ryan, a submarine-style shot, so maybe Calgary finding a bit of a flaw in the armor of Tyler Richards. 45 seconds remaining here in the first half. Calgary with possession again. Evans plays it across, looking for Resetaritz, who was well guarded on the play. And now Washington turns it over. They're going to get a chance here for a final opportunity to close the gap to within 2 goals here, as we're under 30 remaining in the first half. Here's an opportunity, shot wide off the end boards into the net from Mitch Jones. And now Calgary will get a final chance here and call timeout and look for the set play.
Do want to clarify, earlier was a back in call, not an over and back call. Same style of penalty, same family of penalty, but
same family of penalties?
Yeah, the same family of penalties.
So over and back in are cousins?
Yeah, they're distant cousins.
Distant
cousins.
Don't really get along.
But thanks to Brad Everson in the chat room tonight, helping me out in the booth. Always nice when someone else can help me out like that. Not going to pretend I know everything up here.
No.
And Brad, Johnny on the spot there, helped me out. And for everybody out in the YouTube chat room, thank you again for watching tonight. Everybody watching on the Lacrosse Network and joining in tonight, we really appreciate it. And happy to have your opinions here up in the booth. Helps make my job quite a bit easier, Grant.
It's always amazing. You and I have been doing games for a few seasons, and how people in watching on the YouTube will see stuff that we don't see.
Yes, yes.
I don't know if that's bad commentary on our part or it's just a good compliment for them. But either way,
well, as I've heard, you only have one attention, and if your attention is paid on one thing, you may miss something else. And so we'll see if the Roughnecks can work their attention into a goal here at the end of the first half.
Under 10 seconds remaining in the half as they hold for the final shot. This is Evans with it. Evans to Dobie, back to Evans. Evans loads, Evans fires, and Richards makes the save. Throws it down towards the empty net. It will not count and is wide anyways. And so we'll enter the second half with Calgary enjoying a 7-4 lead, scoring 4 straight goals after Washington took a 4-3 lead. Calgary, I mean, really, Ryan, could be up more in this one if not for the play of Tyler Richards and a little bit of help from his goalpost.
I was about to say, and the help of a couple friends, some skinny red friends that have kept the ball out of the net. 6 posts for the Roughnecks in the first half. But you know, it's got to go in to count. And just because you beat Tyler Richards doesn't mean it's a goal. And the Roughnecks, as a result, a 7-4 lead. But like you said, Grant, could be a lot more.
Shots on goal 35-26. That was real close in the latter part of the third quarter, or in the latter part of the second quarter, pardon me. And then Calgary really put the pedal to the metal to distance themselves late in the third quarter. And we just noticed a 2-minute penalty at the end of the second quarter being assessed to Curtis Hodgson of the Stealth. So when we start the second half, Calgary will enjoy another power play. Offensive leaders for the Washington Stealth in this game, 1-1. Reese Dutch so far in this game. Jeff Molesky, Mike Grimes, and Lewis Ratcliffe chipping in with singles. Should note Mike Grimes also with a beautiful pass in that first half as well. Brent Bucktooth has a couple of helpers in this one as well. For the Calgary Roughnecks, they get 2 goals from Dane Dobie, 2-1 overall for him so far. 1-2 from Scott Ranger and Jeff Shatler, 1-1 from Sean Evans, and singles from Dan McCray and Jeff Snyder. So the scoring spread out for both of these clubs, and that's how you get to 7-4 at halftime. We'll be back with second half action. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network. Just a reminder, this copyright telecast of the National Lacrosse League Incorporated may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the National Lacrosse League. Welcome back to Calgary, where the Roughnecks enter the second half enjoying a 7-4 lead over the Washington Stealth. My name is Grant Farrell with Ryan Ballantyne. Glad you're with us tonight for this game. It's been an intense game. Ryan, Calgary looking to go back-to-back against the Stealth, and so far full value for that lead. They played, really had the majority of the play for that first half.
Yeah, and actually they're probably unlucky that the lead isn't bigger. They had 6 posts in that first half. 6 times they put it behind Tyler Richards, only to see it bounce back out. And, I mean, really a rough night if you're going to hit the post 6 times, but nevertheless, still a 7-4 lead. Maybe not exactly happy with the way that they played for the vast majority of the game last week, and knowing that they were fortunate to kind of get that late Tyler Richards penalty to come away with a win, but now they're seeing themselves coming out and staking themselves to a halftime lead, and we'll see if they can finish that off. We'll just take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard before we get started here. It was Rochester doubling up Philadelphia tonight by a 14-7 score. We thought it was getting out of hand earlier between Minnesota and Buffalo. 19-7. Whew, that game right now, 19-7. And the other game with West playoff implications tonight, Colorado in Edmonton to take on the Rush, and it's the Mammoth with a 4-3 lead at the half there. So the Mammoth combined for 7 goals in the first half. The Minnesota Swarm with 19 goals and 3 minutes to play there in the fourth quarter. See if they can triple them up with 21.
Second half underway as the Snyder brothers get it on in the face-off dot. Jeff Snyder with a slight edge in the first half, winning 54% of his draws. Bob Snyder 50% on his night so far. So that is pretty much even Steven. Jeff wins the first battle of the opening half, and a reminder that Calgary does start the second half on the power play as it's Hodgson down in the box for 2 minutes. Calgary will work it around here, trying to build on the 7-4 lead. As this is Evans. Evans has Schattler to his right. Evans thought about a shot. Now Schattler behind his back to Doby. Shot on goal through Richards, but out the other side. Fresh 30 for Calgary. Here's Evans. Evans loads. Evans to Schattler. Schattler back to Evans. Pass down low looking for Ranger, who was parked out front. Nice defense there by the Stealth, and with 1:10 to go on the penalty. Oh, a huge hit as Evans lays out Grimes to take away the ball. Grimes is okay, but that was a big hit from Evans.
Yeah, Evans absolutely rocked him right as the ball got there. Nice timing on the hit from Sean Evans, and proving he doesn't just score, he can get dirty too, and takes the ball back from Grimes.
Now Schattler to Ranger, who now's at the top. Ranger tries to go to Doby, has to take it off the boards instead. And now Doby to Ranger behind his back. There's a shot, scores! Curtis Dixon does most his damage in the second half, and he starts the scoring here, 8-4 Calgary.
Just a matter of time before Colorado, or rather Curtis Dixon, was going to put it in. And Superman does it there with that nice low shot, going 5-hole on Richards, and puts it home to find himself on the score sheet, continuing his streak. Dixon, of course, has scored in every single game so far this year, and that is his 100th career marker. Curtis Dixon to extend the lead to 8-4 for the Calgary Roughnecks.
Yeah, it did not take number 17 very long, just this far into his third NLL season, to reach a plateau. And I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more milestones before Curtis Dixon is said and done in the career in the NLL. Delayed penalty coming up to the Calgary Roughnecks. The Stealth with the ball. They'll work 6-on-5 as Richards is to the bench. Chance to get back into this one, and that's the power play has been about the only thing working offensively for the Stealth tonight. Dutch now has a man off at the bench. Bucktooth throws it across to the far side, then gets it back. Bucktooth tries the shot, Poole in the save, and as Manning grabs the rebound, we will get that penalty.
And the penalty at the end of the first half, a 2-minute minor to Hodgson checking from behind was the call.
Did not see it.
No, neither did I happen as time expired there at the end of the first half. So answering the question of Alan Firewind in the chat room, asking what the penalty was for. Checking for behind was that call, and this time it's Schattler sitting for 2 on the slash.
Washington back to the power play. Dutch to Bucktooth. Bucktooth thought about a shot. Instead, he plays it down to Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe with some space to Bucktooth. Bucktooth shoots off the pipe. Behind the net, ball up for grabs. Washington comes up with it, and now it's thrown to the far boards. Washington still with it, though, in a fresh 30. Now here's Ratcliffe, tries the shot. Pulling the save. Rebound, scores. Bucktooth with good patience and had all sorts of net. That's a big goal for the Stealth, and it's 8-5.
Yeah, nice work there from Bucktooth. The rebound off Poulin came right to his stick, and rather than firing it again, he faked a shot, and you'll see Poulin go down here and try and get lateral, and Bucktooth able to run around him, and Poulin unable to kind of go back and forth that quickly. As a result, it gets the Stealth back within 3 here. 8-5 your score with 12.5 to play in quarter number 3.
Yeah, special teams again, so big in the NLL. And Washington's power play is keeping them around in this game as they're now down by 3. Calgary with another face-off win as Pete McFedridge has the ball now. McFedridge passes across to Evans. Evans now with it to Dixon. Dixon starts towards the net, leans in, shoots, scores! Curtis Dixon, second of the night. And Calgary's back up by 4.
Curtis Dixon making that goal look a lot like the overtime winner against the Mammoth a few weeks ago. Found a little bit of separation from his man down low, put it up in the top corner, and comes out with his second of the night to restore a 4-goal lead. They say lacrosse is all about momentum, and Curtis Dixon doing what he can to make sure the Stealth don't have any.
Stealth get the face-off, number 37 on the year for Dixon, and career goal number 101 of his career. Washington will have a chance to respond here as the goals are coming a little faster here in the third quarter. And now Washington will try and answer again. There's the shot, and another penalty is coming to the Roughnecks, and we'll get the call here.
Holding the stick looks like that's going to be the call, and it's Scott Carnegie going to the box. And Jeff Snyder's going to go to the box as well. Referee not liking what he sees between Snyder and Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe getting a congratulatory tap from his teammate, slashing the call on Snyder. So the Roughnecks will be down 5-on-3 here.
The Stealth power play tonight has gone 3 for 5 so far, and they'll work at 5-on-3 here for the full 2 minutes or less if they can cash in, of course.
So 3 for 5 for a 5-on-3?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure I got all my 5s and 3s
trying
in the right
to confuse
spot.
me now. Mike Poulin getting some equipment help here. And
Canadian timeout.
I don't know if that was, I think that might have been legit.
Right. Taping that guard down onto his foot.
Here we go with the 5-on-3 power play here. Dutch has it. Dutch plays it down low, gets the return. If he does, he'll just work it closer and closer. There's a shot. Poulin had the angle covered nicely. Now Bucktooth again with it. This time he goes over to the top and shooting and scoring. Washington wasting absolutely no time on the power play as Lewis Ratcliffe scores the goal, and it's 9-6.
10 seconds in, Ratcliffe puts it behind Poulin. Another nice low bounce shot. You got to wonder if that submarine shot, Grant, is harder for the goalies to read when it comes kind of from that side angle because you're not sure whether or not it's going up or down. And in that case, Ratcliffe puts it down, and as a result, the player coming out of the box with Jeff Snyder, but it shouldn't have been. The Roughnecks bench arguing that it should have been Snyder still in the box because, of course, his penalty was called second.
Yeah, Carnegie is the guy still in the box, and still the time on the clock is Scott Carnegie, so that's how they call it for some reason. And here come Washington again, now down 9-6 and still on the power play. They have 4 power play markers in this game already. Dutch working the top as he works it around, gets the pass and then passes back. Now they'll go down low. Over to the far side, shot in there, Poulin the save, rebound, up for grabs, and eventually grabbed by Harnett, and he's off to the races. Pulls up, now looking for help. 1:10 remaining in the Scott Carnegie penalty. Jeff Schattler has the ball. Calgary dangerous shorthanded, in particular Curtis Dixon, who has 6 shorties on the year. Not out there right now, though. Actually, no, he's camped out in front. Ball does not come to him, though. Goes all the way to Richards instead. And Justin Salt gets the ball from him and then passes off and heads to the bench, as now Washington has 50 seconds remaining. And Reese Dutch with the ball. Bucktooth at the top, gets the pass. Bucktooth thought about a shot, plays across. Poulin has that covered well, this time stopping Ratcliffe on the attempt. And now with 35 seconds, Calgary with a chance here to kill most of what remains on the minor penalty. Goes to Evans, down in the right corner. Doby's off the bench.
You mentioned Curtis Dixon, Grant. If he gets one more shorthanded goal this season, he will take the all-time lead for shorthanded goals for the Roughnecks. Also would tie an NLL record with his 7th shorthanded marker of the year.
Here's Schattler looking for a shorty in there and gets thrown to the ground. Curtis Dixon's been stuck at 6 goals for some time, though.
Yeah, he had 3 goals in that game against. He had 3 shorthanded goals in one game earlier this year.
Yeah.
To have a fourth quarter comeback, and as a result, like you said, Grant, been stuck at 6. There's a reason why 7's an NLL record. It's not like they come along every day.
No.
And Curtis Dixon looking to try and find that as Bermuda short stay here in Calgary. So some celebrating college students in the crowd.
9:56 to go in the third quarter. Timeout on the floor with Calgary on top 9-6. We'll be back with more. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network. Fans, tonight's game is brought to you in part by Reebok. Redefine your game with Reebok's new Black line. Reebok Black was designed and engineered for the elite lacrosse player. Reebok's Black line features a lightweight and minimalistic design with carbon-light technology, performance-driven, technology-driven, NLL proven. Find all the new Reebok lacrosse gear online at ReebokBlack.com. 9-6, Calgary leading the Washington Stealth with 9:56 to go here in the third quarter. Will be Washington ball, as they have just 6 seconds remaining on a power play that is just about to come to an end. Try and cash in quickly here as we're now back to 5-on-5. Ball thrown away into the corner as Bucktooth could not come up with it, and that's going to allow Calgary to walk away with it and come down the floor, led by Manning. He takes a spill. Actually, that's Resetaritz taking a spill, and that allows Washington to turn it over. Then they throw it away. And Travis Cornwall is Johnny on the spot. Weird bounce, though. Comes to the Stealth instead. And going behind the net is Garrison. Garrison hanging on there as the Stealth catch a bit of a break. Now it's played out in front. Here's the shot. Scores! Jeff Molesky, second of the night, is a beauty. And it's 9-7 Calgary. Washington back to within 2.
Well, you go back to a hit in the NHL. Zdeno Chara versus Max Pacioretty rides him into the stanchion at the end of the bench. As a result, NHL rinks changed that stanchion to a rounded board. Now, the ball came off of that rounded board, and instead of bouncing to the corner like it should have or would have on a normal flat board, a rounded surface bounces it back to the center, and as a result gives the Washington Stealth an opportunity that saw Jeff Molesky cash in a very nice goal, but a lucky bounce off the boards there for the Washington Stealth as it came right to the stick of Garrison, and Cornwall was unable to recover, and now he's down on the turf with an ankle injury. Looks like he'll hobble off, and we'll see what happens with Travis Cornwall going forward. Again, Daryl Veltman not in the lineup tonight for the second straight game. Veltman's been out. As a result, we've seen a lot more Cornwall and Joe Resetaritz. If Cornwall's out for any length of time, that could really damage this Roughnecks team's chances.
Jeff Snyder on the faceoff wins the draw and brings it forward. Washington with momentum here. 2 straight goals as they're now back to within 2. Actually, 3 straight goals, I think, now that I think about it. Anyways, Curtis Dixon with the ball. Dixon pulls up there, gives it to Dane Doby. And now Doby to Jeff Schattler. Schattler gets a step. Schattler tried to flip it back to Doby out of his reach. Instead comes all the way back to Sean Evans. Now played down low. There's a turnaround attempt. Nice save there by Richards. Battle in the corner. Schattler can't come up with it. Good defense there by Matt Beers. He plays it to Jeff Molesky, who's having a heck of a night for the Stealth. And now Henderson. Henderson looking for help as the offensive set gets on the floor, including Bucktooth. And then Bucktooth finds Buchanan. Buchanan plays it over to the other side, then eventually gets it back. Down low to Bucktooth, and they'll play it over to Ratcliffe, who's on the other side. Now to Dutch. Dutch tries to pass off, gets the ball back, but just has 3 seconds on the shot clock. There's a shot wide of the net, and it will be Calgary ball. Harnett comes up with it. Nice flip pass ahead to a streaking Dan McRae. McRae into the offensive zone. Curls back and gives it to Sean Evans. Now Evans looks to have a step. Evans turns around, now going to go behind the net. Set up camp there, try to stuff it in. Passes off instead to Doby, and Doby to Schattler. All the way across, bad pass there. Restaterets takes it off the board though. Restaterets now with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Calgary's have to get rid of it quickly. Shot in there off of Richards and into the crowd. That's going to allow the Riggers to keep possession.
Yeah, nice stop by Richards. A bit of a scrambly possession from the Roughnecks. Some passes not quite finding their mark.
Dane Doby to Curtis Dixon, who has got 2 goals in this third quarter. Dixon turned aside, so he goes to Doby instead, and now Doby's going to give it to Schattler. Quick pass looking for Restaterets, eventually gets to Dixon. Dixon curls off his man. Try to find Restaterets again at the side of the net. They've been working that one all night long. It hasn't really worked yet. Schattler now, 2 seconds on the shot clock. And a big chop there, and then into the boards goes Doby. It will be Washington ball as they have a good defensive stand there, turning aside Calgary in 2 straight possessions, or 2 straight attempts in that possession rather. And with under 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter, Washington to get within 1 here if they can score on this offensive possession. Bucktooth out there again, plays it down low. Here's a shot from Ratcliffe, looking to go 5-hole on Poulin, who squeezes his pads together. As once again, the Stealth have narrowed the gap when it comes to shots on goal. Now 39-37 favoring Calgary. As at times in the night, it's been Calgary with a little more edge on the shots. Now Evans behind the net, comes out, shoots. Another save by Richards. Rebound to Ranger. Couple whacks at it. It stays out as Richards stands tall. And now I believe we're going to get a penalty to the Stealth as Ranger took a cross-check from behind.
Yeah, checking from behind going to be the call. The Roughnecks will go back to the power play. A smart play from Sean Evans there, situational awareness. You'll see after he gets hit down here, he's in the crease, and you kind of see him moving out of the crease and rolling out so to give Scott Ranger that opportunity.
Couple opportunities.
But nevertheless, a checking from behind call sees Garrison take a seat for 2 or less, and the Roughnecks will head back to the power play.
That power play 2 for 4 on the day so far. Evans working the top. Evans passes off to Schattler, behind his back to Doby. Doby goes almost behind the net to Dixon, who tried to bank it off of Richards. It stays out. Cute little play there. Now Molesky comes up with the ball. Molesky to Mike Grimes, and all the way down the floor as they were looking for Kyle Sorensen. That does not work. And Calgary's going to get the ball right back here with still 90 seconds to go on this power play opportunity. Dane Doby has the ball.
Yeah, that pass was all kinds of high. Mike Poulin had to jump up with his stick fully extended to catch it.
And Mike Poulin is a tall guy. Now this is Evans. Evans curling off his man, gives it to Doby. Doby has a bit of room. In front, there's a shot from Dixon. That's over the net. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Another attempt by Schattler goes wide, and that's going to give the Stealth a chance to move it down the floor as Kyle Sorensen has it. Sorensen plays it ahead to Grimes. And now Grimes is going to hit the bench, and as he does, flips the ball to Buchanan. As now 45 seconds remaining on this Calgary power play. Washington looking to take it down to about 30 seconds. Here is Dutch. Dutch skipping back and then flips it off to Devance. Shoots, scores! Washington scoring there off a broken play, and thanks to their second shorthanded goal, they're to within 1. Buchanan gets it.
Yeah, nice shot there from Buchanan. I'm not sure that Poulin necessarily was expecting it. It kind of went a curveball almost. It seemed to go around him and find the inside of the post and go in. So The post not as friendly to Mike Poulin as they have been to Tyler Richards. And as a result, the Washington Stealth back within one here with 4.5 minutes, just over 4.5 minutes to go in quarter three.
Yeah, you can see on that replay that Poulin didn't quite have that angle covered, as there was a bit of room there on that far right post, and Buchanan found it. And again, second shorthanded goal tonight for the Stealth. So Calgary's got 2 power play markers, but they've given up 2 shorties, and that's one reason why it's 9-8. Calgary just up by 1 here, and Washington now with the momentum. It's been back and forth all night long. There's a attempted pass, rebound, comes there off the bar again. Dixon goes post, and now out of the box, immediately into the play is Tyler Garrison. Evans didn't see him coming, and with 4:12 to go in the third quarter. This one's tight, 9-8. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network. Fans, you can watch the NLL live on CBS Sports Network with live national broadcasts each week for the remainder of the regular season and the playoffs, including the championship game. The next broadcast is on Saturday, April 13th, as the Philadelphia Wings will host the Toronto Rock. That's 4:30 Eastern Time. To find the channel on your cable or satellite system, visit cbssportsnetwork.com. Good one tonight here at the Dome, as the Washington Stealth are hanging around and now trail just by 1, 9-8. 4:12 to go here in the third quarter, and it will be Washington ball, 9-8, and the post accounting for 8, non-goals for Calgary, Ryan.
Yeah, 8 saves from the red metal bar so far on the night, as the Roughnecks having no trouble putting it behind Tyler Richards, just a little trouble putting it in the net. In front of 10,008 fans
Good
here
crowd
at the Dome tonight. A solid crowd here of 10 grand.
Washington with the ball now. Pass is intercepted, and looks like that Manning was held up, scanning the floor. No call on that play. And now another collision there, as Manning has had a real rough ride here on this shift. Calgary does have the ball, but it looked like a bit of a missed call there, as he was most certainly tugged trying to get away there. Now Dixon with it. Dixon, bit of a step, goes to the corner, had to dodge the official too. Now goes behind the net, shakes off his man. Nice play there to Ranger. Ranger passes off the shot and then put it on net. Bit of a knuckler. Richards comes up with it. And now Washington look to move it quickly down the floor with 3:30 to go here in the third quarter. They can tie it up once again. They've only had the lead once, but they haven't let Calgary get away from them. Here's Reese Dutch. Well, there was a shot or a pass. Either way, it hit Andrew McBride. Now battle for it in the corner. And Dan McRae makes a nice play there. Still doesn't quite have possession. And Washington gets it back. Dutch steals it and then tries the shot as he was dumped. Now another chance, scores! Ratcliffe walks out of the corner with it, and it's a tie game, 9-9.
What a scramble in that possession. Dutch gets belted, it heads to the corner. Ratcliffe picks it up just past the stick of Scott Carnegie, and he had all kinds of time to put it behind Mike Poulin. Ratcliffe known for the big shot, but a nice move with the finesse inside to tie this one up with just under 3 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Another tricky bounce off the corner boards, and Lewis Ratcliffe was the beneficiary of that. And then, of course, the strong finish by one of the best goal scorers in the league, Lewis Ratcliffe. And yeah, 9-9, the Stealth erasing a big Calgary lead here in the third quarter, and now coming down the floor looking to take the lead for only the second time in this contest so far tonight. This is Bucktooth. Bucktooth plays it across the far side. Here is Lewis Ratcliffe. He's feeling it right now. Walks around the crease and steps in it. Turnover because of that. Manning will take over for Calgary and immediately run it down the floor. As Calgary looking to get back some momentum here. They had it all, and right now it's the other way as Washington has all the mo. Here is Dane Doby. Doby to Shatler. Shatler all the way across. There's a shot wide of the net. And picking it up are the Stealth, and coming out of the pile with it. Now breakaway chance, a whistle on the play. I thought I heard a whistle, but it was rather soft.
A back-in violation on the Stealth will give the Roughnecks the fresh 30 in the offensive zone there, as the Stealth player bringing it into the crease. And so it will be whistled in there.
Jeff Shatler has the ball now for Calgary. He starts forward to Doby. Doby has it skip out of his basket. Comes up with it again. Now 18 seconds on the shot clock. Still plenty of time to Shatler. Shot in there wide of the net. Up in the air. Shatler tried to come up with it. Can't, has to go all the way back to do it. Now not much time on the shot clock. Just under 10 seconds. Now 5. Shatler shakes off one man behind the net. Here's Dixon trying to stuff it in as he took flight. And the shot clock eventually does expire. And that'll give Washington the ball back. Oh!
Yeah, Sean Evans wasn't exactly happy with Matt Beers, and it's, you know, you can dump one, and down on the play, Curtis Dixon at the Stealth bench had his helmet knocked ajar, so we may see 2 penalties called here, but Sean Evans dumped after the whistle, not happy about it, and the Stealth looked like they'll be headed back to the power play, but Curtis Dixon was also down.
I didn't see what happened to Dixon over on the bench, but I saw Evans plow one guy, and then did that almost look like a headbutt?
Well, I think it was a stick, but nevertheless, Sean Evans certainly letting his temper get the better of him there, and he will sit for...
There's the first shot, and then he walks over, more like a chest bump, I suppose, but...
Well, it could be that he gives up about 8 inches in that battle. Might have been a hit to the... Fortunate to be as small as he is on that play, Sean Evans, because that might have been 5 the way he was swinging. The fans not happy, 10,008 agreeing on that.
So the Washington Stealth back to the power play, and a golden opportunity here to take the lead, and they do, courtesy of Reese Dutch. 10-9 Washington, as Calgary has let their discipline get away from them here, and it's cost them the lead.
7 seconds into this power play, a great goal from Reese Dutch. Just accepted the pass on the quick stick and fires it home to give the Stealth just their second lead of the game. 10-9 with 1:22 to go in quarter number 3.
So the Roughnecks, who had all of the momentum in the early part of this third quarter, now find themselves down by 1 in a game that they by all rights should be leading, but they've had some bad luck, and now they're making some poor choices when it comes to discipline. Bottom line, Washington now lead by 1. Here's Cornwall back on the floor. He had a bit of an ankle problem earlier in this quarter, so good to see him back on the floor. Has the ball now, hanging on to it. Not sure what to do with it, so he goes to Doby. Doby now down low, has Shatler. Shatler now with some space. Shatler. And then a possession change there, as it will be Washington ball with under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Salt has it. Salt flips it to his man as he will now head to the bench. Buchanan with the ball now. Buchanan looks to make a move. Ball dropped. And now Calgary now will come back in transition. This is Harnett. Harnett has numbers with him. Gets the return feed. Tries the shot wide of the net. Comes out the other side. And this should turn over to Washington ball here as Calgary touches it. Maybe not, though. No, it will remain Calgary ball.
Yeah, referee indicating that it got enough of the the Stealth net to count as a shot, so Roughnecks will get possession back.
Now 10 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Ranger with it. Ranger to Doby. Doby to Evans. There's a shot saved by Richards. And that'll do it for the third quarter. There's now some more rough stuff as Doby's into it over on the boards with Matt Beers, as these two teams starting to feel the intensity here. 10-9, Washington with the lead. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
The next Washington Stealth home game 1 week from tonight on Saturday, April 13th, as the Stealth host the Buffalo Bandits at Comcast Arena. Game time is 7 o'clock. For tickets, visit stealthlax.com. That's stealthlax.com. So far, a 10-9 lead for the Washington Stealth, who came into this quarter trailing 7-4, so putting up a 6 spot on the Roughnecks here, only allowing 2 on the other side to take that 1-goal lead. And so far, so good if you're the Washington Stealth, although if you'll remember, it was a week ago where the Roughnecks came back with a 7-4 fourth quarter of their own to take a comeback win away from the Washington Stealth, who had played a solid 53 minutes, in the words of Coach Chris Hall, before letting it slip away. So the Roughnecks will have to come out and get a comeback win here again tonight if they want to secure that home playoff spot. And that is what is on the line for the Roughnecks in this game. A home playoff game is on the line, and for the Washington Stealth, they can clinch a playoff spot with a win here tonight. Elsewhere in the league, it was Rochester winning their game earlier tonight, 14-7 over Philadelphia. Minnesota absolutely hammering the Buffalo Bandits. It was 19-7 late in the fourth quarter, just waiting on the final score here in that game. 21-7 the final score for Minnesota over Buffalo. 7-5 the Colorado Mammoth leading the Edmonton Rush, and the Stealth, of course, with the 10-9 lead here as we enter the fourth quarter. And Grant, very interesting standings battle here tonight, as Colorado, if they can hang on against the Stealth, and it looks like that one's just about into the fourth quarter, or against the Rush rather, it would put the Rush, the Roughnecks, and the Stealth, if all scores were to hold, at 8-6 on the year.
Yeah, lots to decide here in Calgary still, as composure, I suppose, the story of this one, Ryan, and Calgary's lack thereof in that third quarter, and that really got away from them. They opened up the third quarter thanks to some good play from Curtis Dixon, built a 5-goal lead, I believe, at one point, and all of a sudden they go cold on offense, start taking some penalties, and Washington now well positioned to walk out of here with a win. A 10-9, 1-goal lead. Lots to do here, but
yeah, 15 minutes in lacrosse is an eternity, really, and we'll see what the fourth quarter brings. And I was mentioning earlier, Grant, the fourth quarter not so kind to the Washington Stealth last week, as they gave up a 7-4 score in that fourth quarter in the final frame to give the Calgary Roughnecks a victory after leading for most of the game.
Well, no team has scored more fourth quarter goals in the NLL than the Calgary Roughnecks, and they will look to do that again tonight to try and get another win, back-to-back wins over the Washington Stealth. And as you mentioned, Ryan, plenty on the line here in this one tonight. Washington does get first possession of the final quarter as they look to establish a 2-goal lead for the first time in this game. Jones with it now. Jones, nice flip pass, eventually does skip out of the basket, though, of Lewis Ratcliffe. And now here comes Calgary in transition. Snyder with it. Snyder shoots just wide of the net. Ball way up in the air, bounces off the floor. Evans can't come up with it. It will be Washington ball. Evans again not happy with that call from the officials, but it may have been the right one. Mike Grimes with it. He rolls the ball to his man. And now Lewis Ratcliffe, once again displaying his elite offensive talents in Calgary, as he did for so many years before being traded to the Rock and then to the Stealth. And now Dutch gives it to Buchanan. His shot is blocked, and now a race for it. And Richards is going to come out, gets bowled over. Ball thrown down the floor, and that'll be the over and back violation on another scrambly play there. Calgary now with it. This is Nolan Hevner. Hevner has Evans off the bench. 10-9, Washington leading. Now 13:45 to go here in the final quarter. Jeff Shatler working off the right side to Evans. Evans now starts forward, makes a move. Evans, flip pass to Doby. Doby shoots. Richards the save. Rebound is up for grabs. Poked loose by the Stealth. And they're going to have a chance to move it out by Jeff Molesky, who's dumped as he gets it over half by Jeff Shatler. And then turnover there again, this time Salt getting in the way of it. He can't come up with it. Evans back on it. He gets dumped.
And Jeff Shatler down hard. He took a stick to the shin. He went down and barely just got up.
Now he's headed to the bench. Molesky bidding for the hat trick. Stopped by Poulin. And a behind the back pass doesn't work. Garrison has it though. Garrison is met on the play by Harnett. A few times in this game tonight where play just gets really scrambly, really broken for both teams. Ratcliffe with it now. He directs traffic. Ratcliffe twirling the stick. Tries the shot. Poulin squeezes the wickets and keeps this score 10-9. We'll keep an eye on Jeff Shatler. Did you see, Ryan, if he went down the tunnel or if he's on the bench?
He may have gone down the tunnel as there's less people in the tunnel and I see other people looking down it. So Shatler may have gone for some extra attention, but he did take a hard cut to the shins off the stick of Jeff Molesky.
Now Dane Dobie with it. He tried to find range. Arresitaretz comes over to take it. Bounce attempt there, wide of the net, and it will be Washington ball.
You mentioned, Grant, the offensive prowess of the Roughnecks in the fourth quarter. The Roughnecks plus 17 on the, plus 17 on the season in the fourth quarter as far as goals for and against. The Washington Stealth, the worst team in the league, at minus 12 in the fourth quarter.
Well, we'll see if that holds true tonight. There's a shot. Poulin doesn't know where it is. Has it in his equipment, though. And it will be Calgary ball here as Poulin is now coming up with some big saves to keep this one a one-goal game. Doesn't know where the ball is at all. It's in there somewhere. It's the old where is it? No one knows.
And Poulin shaking out his equipment. Looks like the referee's just going to pull an extra ball out, but Mike Poulin really just cannot find the ball in his equipment. Watch out if you're standing on first base. They might try and tag you out.
The old hidden ball trick.
Yeah. Jeff Shatler now back on the bench.
That's a good sign for the Calgary Roughnecks. They have the ball now. Dane Dobie. Dobie behind the back. Nice play. Shoot. Scores. In the crease, though. No goal. Cornwall finished the play, but did so stepping in the crease. Score remains 10-9.
Molosky's got the flag out, but I think that's a pretty good call by the official, and Molosky will put the flag away as Cornwall did have that 1 foot down.
Now Jones for the stealth. Tried to go to Ratcliffe. That pass nowhere near him. And now Carnegie try to race down the floor. Drops the ball briefly, gets it back, finds Harnett. Harnett's going to buy himself some time here and buy the offense some time to get on the floor. There is Jeff Shatler back on the floor. Great to see that. Now Dane Dobie thought about a shot. Now leaning on his man. Gets help from Shatler to his stomach. Pokes it to Shatler. Great play. Shatler scores! What a play from Dane Dobie! And it's 10-10.
Dane Dobie passes it to Jeff Shatler with 2 Stealth players on him while on his back. How's that for a highlight? Jeff Shatler gets his second of the night to bring this back to an even game after Dane Dobie fires a miracle pass over to Shatler, and you can see him congratulating Dobie on the bench. What a play there. And just for an update, the ball now has fallen out of Mike Poulin's equipment, and the referee went to retrieve it from inside the net. But what a play from Dane Dobie to fire it towards the net, and Jeff Shatler to put it home and tie this game up.
Absolutely. That was one heck of a play from Dane Dobie. As we see the replay now, you can see him just poke it to Shatler, who does a good job to stay out of the crease. Now here comes Snyder. Snyder to Dixon. He scores. Calgary has the lead back. It's 11-10.
It seems as though Kurt Molosky has thought more about this transition game off the face-off by putting Curtis Dixon out there as an option. This is the 3rd time Snyder's gone down the floor and thrown it to Dixon, and this time Dixon puts it home over Richards, his 38th of the year, and he's got his hat-trick goal for tonight, doing it all for the Roughnecks here. And if you're starting an NLL franchise in this league right now, you might want to build it around a player like Curtis Dixon.
Now, I think Richards believed that Curtis Dixon was in the crease on that one, so now with the again, the Canadian timeout, which really this time is all about him having a chance to talk to the officials, I think, about that goal.
Yeah, almost all of his equipment off in the crease there. The helmet, the glove, the block of the sticks down.
Still haven't seen a replay on the Jumbotron, but Dixon was very close to the crease on that goal.
And you do only have 20 seconds to throw the challenge flag. Doesn't look like it's coming from Coach Chris Hall. And now the next face-off has gone, so a challenge would be impossible to call at this point anyway.
That goal looks good to me anyways, as Dixon was in the air and looked to have it in the back of the net before he hit the ground. Calgary back on top now, leading 11-10. We are in for one heck of a finish here tonight in Calgary. Here's a chance. Shatler tries the shot. Richards with a big save there. And now he plays it ahead to Jeff Molesky. Molesky going to run the floor. He's got tons of space ahead of him. Has numbers too. Pass does not work though, as they have to take it off the boards. Eventually, it does come to Bucktooth. Bucktooth to Molesky. Molesky across the other side. Dutch fans on the one-time shot there with the quick stick. Gets some help from Bucktooth, who's in on the play now. In with Manning. Manning walks away with it though, and then plays it up to Dixon. Curtis Dixon with the ball. Hat trick tonight. It was another big game and another big second half. All his production coming in the second half tonight. And we're now under 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter of an 11-10 game. Calgary on top. This is Doby with it. Doby to Shatler, and now Shatler to Resiteritz to Evans. Evans now to Shatler, has room. Shot doesn't get through. Doby takes it off the ground, and that allows the shot clock to expire with 9:39 to go here in the fourth quarter. Timeout on the floor. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the NLL Network. The next Calgary Roughnecks home game is 1 week from tonight, Saturday, April 13th, as the Roughnecks take on the Rochester Nighthawks here at the Saddle Dome. That's the final regular season home game for the Roughnecks of 2013. Game time is 7 p.m. For your tickets, visit calgaryroughnecks.com. And of course, the Roughnecks can clinch a first-round home playoff game with the win tonight. So stay tuned for announcements about potential playoff home game dates, times, and ticket on sale dates. But that final regular season home game against the Nighthawks should be a good one. You talked about it earlier, Ryan, lots of big names. We don't get a chance to see many of the Eastern teams here in Calgary.
No, nor Rochester especially.
Yeah.
It seems we don't get to see Rochester all that often, although it looks like that may change next season with the alignment to 18 games. Looks like it's going to be a home and home in each arena for East and West teams, and then the rest of the games in division. But, I mean, if you like high tempo lacrosse, you got to come out and see last year's champions, the Rochester Nighthawks, as we see Mike Poulin with the save of the game, although a lot of game left. And we'll see whether or not Mike Poulin or Tyler Richards can better that between now and the end of the game that sees the Roughnecks with an 11-10 lead and 9:32 to go.
Washington has the ball as they look to tie things up once again. Played across. There's the shot. Poulin just gets enough of that. Ball is going to stay down there, though, as Ratcliffe comes up with it. He passes across. That is a hard pass that Reese Dutch can't handle. Also was interrupted on the play by Mike Carnegie. However, Washington does turn it over, so they're going to get it back. Ratcliffe has it, takes it off a bounce. Now he's going to flip it as they get a fresh 30, so tons of time here to set up the play and look for something better. Ratcliffe now back on the right side, where he's accustomed to. Plays it across, and again, a really tough pass there that Kyle Buchanan could not handle. Ratcliffe passes about as hard as he shoots. Now Buchanan with it, gives it to Dutch. Dutch fakes the shot, now he tries it, bounce shot. Wide and up in the air, and that'll be a 30-second violation against the Stealth. Good defensive stand there by the Calgary Roughnecks.
Yeah, solid defense. They kept the rush to the outside, and like you said, a couple really hard passes from Lewis Ratcliffe, maybe preventing some opportunities down low there, Grant.
Now Jeff Shatler with the ball for Calgary. Shatler starts towards the net, turned aside. Nice move there. Flips it. There's a shot off the shoulder of Richards. And Washington again will come up with it with now 8:15 to go in the final quarter, and another chance for the Stealth to get back on even terms here. I have a feeling this one's going to come down to the final moments or more. Shot in there, gets through Poulin, bounces on the other side of him, but he gets the right spin as it bounced back into his rear end area. And now here's Snyder with the ball. Snyder to Dixon. Dixon has a man with it. Instead chooses to hang on. Now he's going to go to Evans. Evans working off the boards. Now behind the net, out the other side. Turns back the other side of behind the net. Now tries to find Ranger. Ranger is muscled to the ground. Doesn't know where the ball is, and Washington comes up with it. And heading down the floor is Hodgson. Hodgson to Jeff Molesky. Molesky head up and hands off as he will head to the bench. This is Jones now. Jones curls off his man, creates some space. Bad pass there that Ratcliffe cannot handle. And now Poulin moves it out quickly to Andrew McBride, the longtime captain of the Roughnecks. McBride steps over center and gives it to Evans. 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Evans with the ball. Well guarded, so he gives it to Nolan Hebner with a rare chance on the offensive side of the floor. Now Dane Doby. Doby to Evans. There's a shot. Nice save there by Richards. And taken nicely off the end boards by Justin Salt. Salt now goes ahead to O'Doherty. O'Doherty has Grimes with him and is going to wait for the offense to get on the floor. And as they do, flips it to Jones. Mitch Jones. Again, a bad pass there. Eventually does get to Reese Dutch. Dutch now had a man all alone in front. That was Brett Bucktooth. He can't find the pass. Ball now up for grabs in the corner. Battle for it there, and the shot clock will again expire on the Stealth as, Ryan, that's 3 straight offensive possessions where Washington's really struggled to make their passes connect.
Yeah, it really looks like the defense, give them some credit too, Brent, as they're really putting the pressure on the Stealth here and creating more of that pressure D, which they got away from a little bit in the middle of the season, but certainly seems to have made a resurgence here through their last 5 quarters.
Yeah, 5-on-5, you can't complain about the Calgary defense in this game. They've given up some power play goals and some shorthanded goals, but 5-on-5, they've certainly done the job. Now here's Dixon. He's muscled off the ball, gets it back. Dixon, then towards the net.
Upset that he just ran out of time.
Yeah.
If he had another second more, he was going to try and bury that.
Yeah, you could see the frustration there. Both teams struggling a bit right now on offense as we're now down to 5.5 minutes to go on the game clock. Still just the 1-goal lead for Calgary. 11-10. There's a shot. That's wide of the net. Way up into the air. Bucktooth finds it. Bucktooth finds it. Man, there's Dutch with the shot. Poulin another save. Ball to the corner. Buchanan there for Washington, giving them a fresh 30, but then they lose it as a really strange hop there. Dan McRae comes up with it. And with 5:10 to go now, here comes Calgary down the floor, looking for a bit of insurance as they're only up by 1. Dane Doby holding onto the ball. Doby to Resiteritz, now to Evans on the left side. Sean Evans with some space. Evans holding on, looking for a man, plays it across. Here's Shatler, a shot. Richards, a big save. And again, the ball up in the air. Washington comes down with it. And here's Salt in transition. Looks up and doesn't see much help. Then finds Grimes coming to the net. Save Poulin. And now the Roughnecks turn it around as they get to some exchanging of chances here. Nolan Hebner, though, pulls up. 4.5 to go here. Calgary certainly will start to manage the clock, but a 1-goal lead is not much at this point of the game. It's very little of anything. Here's Dixon now across the other side to Shatler. Now to Cornwall to Dixon again. Dixon tries the shot. That submarine shot, gets his own rebound off the end board and then puts it on net. Just as the game or the shot clock was expiring, Richards makes the save. And now exactly 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Calgary continues to lead 11-10, and yet another chance for the Stealth to get this one tied up again as they're back down the floor with Bucktooth with it to Dutch. Dutch with it. Now finds his man. Now they play it down low. There's a shot. Scores! Tie game again. Dean Hill gets the pass and puts it on net. And with 3:45 to go on the game clock, we're all tied up at 11.
Almost a turnaround jump shot there, Grant, as he had to go up and climb the ladder to take the pass. Lands, spins, and fires, and it goes low on Mike Poulin and ties it back up. This one's don't go anywhere, folks. 3 minutes and 45 seconds to play. Both teams with a lot on the line. The Roughnecks looking to secure the home playoff game. The Stealth trying to book their own playoff ticket this one is going to be a gooder coming down the stretch.
Not a clean face-off win. Eventually Calgary does get it. Here comes Jeff Schattler with 3.5 minutes to go here to Snyder. Snyder with some space. Snyder tries to go to the net. Going to go behind the net. Stays out of the crease area. Comes out the same side he went in. Now to Evans with 14 seconds on the shot clock. Evans now looking towards the net. Now drives. Tries the shot. Richards the save. And now Washington gets the ball and with it the chance to take the lead here. They've hung around this entire game, really the prototypical road game. Lean on your goaltender, lean on your special teams, hang around, and then try to take it in the end. And they have a chance to do just that. The ball now with the tie game. They work it around, looking for the opportunity. Here's the shot from Dutch, scores! Reese Dutch! That's 12-11 Washington.
A skip shot from Reese Dutch, bounced on the carpet twice before getting through Mike Poulin's 5-hole, and kind of a weird bounce on it, but it ends up in the top corner of the net. And the Stealth, again, the 1-goal lead. Never had a lead of more than one. This third 1-goal lead for the Stealth. And we'll see here whether or not now the Roughnecks can turn around and get a comeback of their own.
Calgary has been the masters of the fourth quarter this season, but not tonight so far. They'll look for some late magic here. 2.5 minutes to go. Jeff Schattler has the ball. Schattler with it. Schattler flip pass to Doby. What a save by Richards as he stops Dane Doby point blank. Calgary with the pressure on the forecheck. However, it's released to Molesky, and now the Washington Stealth with a chance in transition. Behind the net, they come out the other side. Washington has never led more than one in this game. They can get that critical insurance goal here. Now off the bench and into the play. Turnover created by the Roughnecks. And here they come now down the floor. Possible odd man rush developing. Harnett has it. He's going to wait for the guys more accustomed to scoring goals to get on the floor, including Scott Ranger, who has the ball now. Under 2 minutes to go here. Washington on top, 12-11. Now Evans thought about driving the net, turned aside. Gives it to Dixon. He tries that shot. Richards, another big save. Ball in the corner. It comes to Dixon. Calgary's going to get another chance on this offense possession. And a little weird check there. Dixon has to shake off as we're 90 seconds now away from the end of regulation. Played across. Doby can't find the pass. And now Washington a chance in transition. It's Curtis Hodgson unable to come over with it. Calgary again on the back check, creating the turnover. Now Evans with the ball. Evans towards the net. Shoots. Richards the save again. Another monstrous save from him. Now it's played out to the center area. And that'll be an over and back violation. And Calgary will get the ball here with 1 minute and 4 seconds to go in regulation. Washington trying to hang on to a 12-11 lead. Calgary has to be feeling on this one, Ryan, that how are we letting this one slip away?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just been a game of bounces. The one off the dasher that comes right out and ends up in a Jeff Molesky shorthanded goal. 8 posts, if not more, since the last time we talked about it. 8 posts for the Roughnecks tonight. They just keep coming out, and the bounces are certainly favoring the Washington Stealth so far here in this game. But at the same time, really, give the Stealth full credit. They've put 12
it's not to
balls
take
behind.
anything away from the Stealth.
Yeah,
no, absolutely.
The Stealth have played an excellent road game, like you were mentioning. Grant, they do have the 2 shorthanded goals. They've got the power play markers as well.
They've held the Calgary Roughnecks, who have one of the best offenses in the league, to 11 goals.
And I believe right now, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, the Calgary Roughnecks have only been held under 12 once, one other time this season. Excuse me, and that was by the Edmonton Rush in what was a 9-8 Roughnecks win. But so far so good if you're the Washington Stealth, needing to weather this last minute and 4 seconds. And the Roughnecks net is empty, so they'll be looking to go 6 on 5 here and try and get the tying goal behind Tyler Richards. And if you're looking, Dane Doby and Curtis Dixon, your money ball players, and they're going to be the ones that will likely get that shot.
Here we go. Scott Ranger takes the ball now, under a minute to go. Evans with it. Evans towards the center area, now to Dane Doby. Doby looking for someone in front. Ball up for grabs. Washington comes up with it. And now looking down the floor at the empty net. Mike Poulin's going to get back in there. Washington, though, with the ball and a chance to kill some clock. They're going to just hold on to it here. There's about a 20-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock for Washington. Calgary will need to get the ball back here, though, as we're now down to 30 seconds here, and Dutch has it. He has the game-winning goal right now. Dutch now finds Bucktooth, Poland the save, and he squeezes the pads with 24.8 seconds to go. Calgary's going to get one more chance here, and they immediately call timeout. That's a big save for Mike Poulin to give his teammates at least the opportunity.
Well, it's a game-saving save at this point, as the Stealth have the lead, but if they score there, this game's over. And Mike Poulin making the big stop. You can see the smile on his face as he sits on the bench right now. Just gives a nod to Tyler Richards on the way by, as he, I'm sure, has seen this situation as well, knowing it'll be 6-on-5 with 24 seconds to play. The Roughnecks will be looking to get a tying goal here and drive this one to overtime. And Chris Hall letting his defense know, okay, you need to keep doing what you've been doing. You need to keep locking them out, stay to the outside, give Tyler Richards a shot at stopping this ball.
Now again, Curtis Dixon and Dane Doby are your money ball players for the Calgary Roughnecks, but I mean, gee, maybe you go in a different direction here and throw a curveball at the Washington South. Certainly everyone capable of putting a ball in the net for the Calgary Roughnecks, and they'll have all the big guns out there. Evans, Dixon, Ranger, Shatler, Cornwall, and it will be Dane Doby now running forward with the ball. 20 seconds to go. This is the game on the line right here. Doby with it. Doby to Ranger. Ranger to Evans now. Evans from the left side looking to give up the ball. Nowhere to go with it. Now finds Shatler. He tries the shot or tried to pass across. Picked off. And the Washington Stealth called timeout immediately. What a play there as the pass was coming across, and Mike Grimes just picked it off. With 2.4 seconds to go, that should all but seal this one, as Washington will have possession here.
Yeah, but this game is for all intents and purposes over at this point. Mike Grimes picking off the ball in the crease and preventing that quick stick opportunity behind Tyler Richards, and a very nice play there from Grimes. And the referee headed over to the box to see if there was more time to be added to the clock or not. But for all intents and purposes, with 2.4 seconds left, you got to believe this will be a win for the Washington Stealth, and full marks to them for the road victory.
Absolutely.
Grant. They did everything they needed to do here. They got the ball behind Mike Poulin and took advantage of all the opportunities they had. And you'll see Tyler Richards is the outlet pass down there, but I can imagine that the Stealth are just going to rip this one down the length of the floor with just 2.4 seconds to go.
Yeah, no time added to the clock. It stays at 2.4. The play is blown in. It's whipped down the floor. Calgary tries to pick it off, but that will do it. The Stealth come into the dome and stun the Calgary Roughnecks with a 12-11 win. And you know what? A little bit tit for tat, because I think the Roughnecks probably didn't really deserve to win that game down in Everett. Washington probably was the better team for most of that one. Tonight, I would say the Riggers were the better team for the most of this one. Washington wins it. You end up in a split, and you know what? A split is probably what both teams deserve.
Well, yeah, both teams, like you mentioned, Grant, probably had the better game on the away game, rather, the Stealth had the better game last week. The Roughnecks, the better team this week for the vast majority of it. But the best team always wins, and that's what happened here tonight, because the best team takes advantage of their chances and does everything they can with it. And as a result, your Calgary Roughnecks come away with a loss tonight that likely drops them, I believe now, depending on the results of the Mammoth and Rush game, it'll either have the Roughnecks falling from first in the division to third if the Rush are able to beat the Mammoth, or it will be the Roughnecks falling to second place after this one. And we'll just take a quick look at your out-of-town scoreboard as soon as we can get it loaded up here. And it does look like with just a couple seconds left, 8 seconds left in this one. Colorado with a 9-7 lead over Edmonton, so that is likely the end of that game. And so the Colorado Mammoth will beat the Edmonton Rush, which, depending on the way the standings shake out, I think at this point the Calgary Roughnecks will still be ahead of the Edmonton Rush in the standings. And but I'm not sure how it works between this. The Stealth have the tiebreaker over the Roughnecks. The Roughnecks have the tiebreaker over the Rush, but I'm not sure what the situation is between the Stealth and the Rush.
Yes.
So we'll have that information as soon as it's updated for you, which will likely be at some point during our Roughnecks Radio podcast here later tonight. But all three teams will be tied at 8 and 6 atop the West standings, and with just 2 games to play, and the Rush and Roughnecks having 1 game left each. It's a good run for the Washington Stealth to be able to, if now they can run the table, they can still win the West.
Yeah, absolutely. Still lots to be decided in the West Division. Your offensive leaders tonight for the Calgary Roughnecks: Dane Doby 2 and 3, and Jeff Shatler 2 and 2 in the evening. Curtis Dixon gets the hat trick all in the second half. A 3-point evening for him. Sean Evans 1 and 2. A little bit of a quieter evening for him. Jeff Snyder 1 and 1. Single goals from Dan McCrae. As well as Scott Ranger 1 and 3 on the night. For the Washington Stealth, Reese Dutch, who else, leads the way 3 and 4, including the game winner, as he was the man tonight. Lewis Ratcliffe, again another big game against his former club, 3 and 2. Also singles from Kyle Buchanan, Mike Grimes, who had a whale of a game, including the key defensive play at the end of the game to pick off that pass at the side of the net. Dean Hill with a single, and Jeff Molesky, the outstanding former Roughneck and now Stealth defender, chips in with 2 goals as well. He's got 3 in his last 2 games. Your final score, 12-11. Washington wins the game. The next Washington Stealth home game, 1 week from tonight on Saturday, April 13th, the Stealth will host the Buffalo Bandits at Comcast Arena. Game time is 7 p.m. Tickets, visit stealthlax.com. The Roughnecks will play next here at the Dome Saturday, April 13th, as the Roughnecks take on the Rochester Nighthawks here at the Dome. That's the final regular season home game for the Roughnecks of 2013. That's a 7 o'clock start. CalgaryRoughnecks.com for your tickets on that one, and watch for announcements forthcoming regarding the playoff schedule and any possible home playoff dates for the Calgary Roughnecks. And a reminder, you can watch the NLL live on CBS Sports Network, live national broadcast each week for the remainder of the regular season and playoffs, including the championship game. The next broadcast is next Saturday, April 13th, against the Philadelphia Wings, as they will host the Toronto Rock at 4:30 Eastern. To find the channel on your cable system, just visit CBSSportsNetwork.com. And finally, do remember that you can join us here again on the Lacrosse Network tomorrow. Live coverage of both games on the Sunday NLL schedule. Join us at 3 Eastern for a live exclusive broadcast as the Toronto Rock try to nail down the East Division regular season title, which they can do with a win against the Rochester Nighthawks. That's at 4 Eastern. It's the the Toronto Rock and the Rochester Nighthawks live tomorrow right here on the Lacrosse Network. Once again, your final score: the Washington Stealth 12, the Calgary Roughnecks 11. For Ryan Ballantyne, my name is Grant Farhall. Thanks for watching tonight. You have been watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network. Have a great evening.